All right, right now we got Dylan Owen on the line. This is Eric Summer from WWPT Record Radio. He was raised in Orange County, New York, in Ithaca, New York, and has started to garner attention recently in the rap community. This summer, his critically acclaimed 2010 album, Senioritis, reached the top 200 chart for hip-hop albums on iTunes. He's all over the music blogs and has been doing headline performances with artists like Chitty Bang and Mac Miller. Thanks for being here, Dylan.
How's it going, Eric?
It's not too bad. So, what originally got you interested in music? Who and what made you think of pursuing rap?
Well, I was always a big music fan, and I couldn't really sing, so had to express myself in some way. So started writing some rhymes, and I used to rap battle a lot too, so that helped get me into rapping a little bit. And my older brother was actually in a hardcore band, so I would go to his shows and was involved with the music scene a little bit, so got inspired in that sense.
So what were your major influences, like musically and artistically? Was it rock? Was it rap?
Well, definitely maybe started out with more mainstream type names like Jay-Z and Kanye West and Mos Def and like people like that. But as I started to get more into the indie hip hop realm, which is kind of where I am now, I was really inspired by this guy named Sage Francis. He's a really sick rapper, poet type guy, and I listened to him for like a year and a half, and then started writing rap songs of my own. So he definitely inspired me a lot. And just recently, I've been listening to a lot of Macklemore, a lot of On Cue.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, definitely, man.
And with songs like the Book Report and Old Armor, the lyrics are very sentimental, yet simultaneously uplifting. So what has caused you to make your music in this style?
Thanks, man. I mean, I would say it's mostly nonfiction writing, so it's just based on my personal experiences and my life and the messages that I want to tell people about my life, you know.
And something I find appealing about your music is the acoustic guitar and piano that you rap over. This sounds unique. Is that, like, why did you decide to incorporate those instruments into your songs? Because, you know, they're pretty unusual.
Yeah, no, definitely. I think I like the songwritten sense to the stuff because I think that I'm definitely a hip hop sound, but I think I also have a singer songwriter quality to me. So I like to include instruments that sort of correspond with that, you know.
Yeah, and you were talking before about your rap being sort of involved with your experiences when you were younger and now. So would you say they're very personal emotion? Have you used music as a tool in dealing with, you know, your childhood or your troubles when you were younger?
Yeah, definitely, man. I mean, it's a tool to deal with things, but also to express things and to reflect on things. So if something happens in my life that I want to think about, my way of thinking about it is to sit down and write a song about it.
Got you. And how do you go about, you know, that process of writing the music, and, you know, how do you go about the musical production and the lyricism?
I would say there's not much of like a definite process, but I don't know. I just sort of, I guess, I work closely with this producer named Nico Marchese. I've been working with him every day since I've been home. He produced most of the tracks on Senioritis, and I go over there every day, and we work on beats, and we pick out samples that we want, or we write songs together. And then if I have lyrics that I've already written separate from a beat, and they match with one of the beats he makes, then I'll continue writing that song. But mostly I just decide that I want to write a song about something, and then find a beat for it, you know.
And have you always been doing rap, per se?
I guess I started out doing more of poetry and spoken word type stuff, and then and rap battles, more of like a cappella type performances, and then moved more towards like writing rap songs. Got
you. And with your increasing popularity, I mean, you got a spot on Bamboozled 2010, which really has allowed you to reach a bigger audience while performing with many of the headline names. What has struck you with this increasing popularity? Have things significantly changed, in your opinion?
I would say, I mean, I'm thankful that more people are getting to hear my music, and it's cool to see responses from people that I totally don't know saying stuff like, oh, like the Book Report means so much to me, and like that really is like great to hear because that's why I put it out to begin with. So I would say it makes me feel like really thankful, you know.
And and your songs are extremely intelligent, insightful. But with that being said, do you feel that there's sort of a lack of meaning in the mainstream rap game, so to speak, right now. For example, people like Lil Wayne and Wiz Khalifa, some may say, are too focused on drugs and materialism. Do you think that?
Well, I don't necessarily think there's something wrong with it, because I don't think they're aiming to have meaning. I think they're aiming to make catchy songs, and they're like Wiz Khalifa, for example, is like really centered around his hooks. So I think like they're doing it successful in their own way, but that's not necessarily something I would sit down and listen to, and that's definitely not something I would sit down and write.
Got you. You're aiming what's your major goal of your music, you would say?
I mean, just to reach as many people as possible with my messages. I would say I don't necessarily have a set plan for where I want to take it in terms of a career, but I would definitely love to do it as a career, and just reach as many people as possible.
So are you going with a more traditional collegiate path, or you don't really know right now?
I'm kind of in the process of figuring that out, but I spent this last year up at Cornell, which was definitely the collegiate path, but I'm going to be moving down to New York City in about a month to do some music stuff down there. So I'll see how that works out, and we'll see where that takes me.
And how has the whole college scene, how has that affected your music?
Well, it kind of fostered my music in a way, actually. Like, Cornell had a nice, close-knit community that I could operate within, and got to play a lot of shows for a lot of familiar faces on campus, and that was a really cool experience. And I did stuff like this rap battle tournament on campus, and I mean, I don't know, it's a cool market and a cool community of people that are interested in music, and they're a good audience.
And right now, where are you planning to go with your music? Can you give people, the WWPT listeners, a little sneak peek?
Oh yeah, no, for sure. On all my websites, I've been sort of alluding to the fact that I'm working on a new project, and I'm hoping to release it at the end of the summer. And it's been in progress like every day for hours and hours a day. And it's definitely like still completely unannounced or whatever, but if they follow me on twitter.com/DylanOwenMusic or DylanOwenMusic.com or Facebook.com/DylanOwenMusic or YouTube.com/DylanOwenMusic, all those sites I'll be keeping people posted and updated, and that's where it's at. And
do you have any concerts coming up that, if people are interested in, they can find you at?
Yeah, totally. I'm going to be playing with Chris Webby on July 2nd at the Chance in Poughkeepsie. I think Chris Webby's from Connecticut originally.
Yeah.
So, definitely, if anyone's interested in that, for sure.
Solid. And if you had to name 5 artists who, are up and coming and people have not necessarily heard of, like, can you give us 5 artists, your favorite 5 up and coming artists?
Yeah. I listen to a lot of non-hip-hop, too. I actually listen to like a lot of folk music and acoustic stuff, and I don't know if you've heard of The Tallest Man on Earth. He's a really sick folk artist.
I've not heard of him.
And On Cue is also really sick. He's dope. I just found out about him the other day, actually. Macklemore I would list.
Love
Greaves
him.
I would list. And maybe for the 5th one, if you've heard of the band The Wonder Years, they're a really sick band.
The Wonder. And do you have any advice for a kid who's interested in music and who's kind of like you, likes it a lot, has a lot to say, but doesn't necessarily know how to go about starting?
Yeah, definitely. I would say definitely just be original and just don't try to cater your sound towards like what you think people are going to like, because that's not going to satisfy you, and chances are it's not going to satisfy them if you're just starting out and don't have as good of production or don't have as good of capability or whatever. So I would say definitely just be yourself and just do your thing.
Solid. And unfortunately, the interview is coming to an end, but thank you so much for being here, man.
Yeah, absolutely. Thanks for having me.
And tell me if I'm right here. Make sure to check these out, people. Online or on iTunes. The Living Inverse EP, the How to Stay Young EP, and you released this in 2010, your critically acclaimed album, Senioritis.
Yeah, absolutely.
That's right? All right, sweet. So congratulations on everything, man.
Awesome. Thanks so much, Eric.
All right. Have a good day.
Yeah, it's been a pleasure. Have a good day, man.
All right, see you, bud.